I hope you guys are ready for some GBA catch-up, because I know I certainly am. I finally got my computer back. I can finally start doing these. So, this game was against Joe Swagaliff, the Pittsburgh Steelix. It was week 5, I believe. I think the last one I put up was 4. And I'm in need of a win. I come on off a hard loss from last week, and I want to get myself back above 500. So here we go. First turn, it's a Crocodile against Flygon. I just want to knock off whatever comes in. I know I can live a Draco, I can live an Outrage, I can live whatever. And I got rid of some leftovers, so that's not bad. Do it half to it. I've seen a few of his games before, and I'm pretty sure that Flygon runs Roost, so the damage is kind of negligible, but whatever. He U-turned out into Regirock and made a brilliant double switch back into his Mega Heracross, which has to Mega. And I'm afraid of Mega Horn, I'm afraid of Pin Missile, I'm afraid of Bullet Seed, I'm afraid of all these things. So my Claydol switch, which would have been good against Regirock, is not good against Mega Heracross, which is why he made the switch in the first place. The only thing I can have that can take any one hit from this thing is my Mega Scizor. This is a specially defensive Mega Scizor, I believe. And it takes the hit not too shabbily, actually, considering it hasn't Mega'd yet. I am going to go for a Mega this turn. I didn't really expect him to stay in. But I just went for a Bullet Punch anyway, just went for a little bit of damage because Mega Heracross is going to be a pain in my ass, as you will see in a few minutes. I'm expecting Will-O-Wisp to come in, I'm expecting Knockoff to not really do a whole lot, but I didn't see lefties on this guy, so I'm kind of wondering what his item could be. And at this point in the game, I really have no idea. Obviously I know now, after the fact, it's actually a Culber Berry, so Knockoff really wouldn't have done a lot, especially if the berry gets used before it gets knocked off, which I think it does. So anyway, sync the burn over onto that thing, and I'm expecting Regirock to come in, and you know, I'm expecting anything to come in right now. A burned Umbreon isn't going to do a lot to anything, so I went to Crocodile to try and get like a little bit of a some kind of initiative, but he winds up going to Flygon, and since I've already knocked it off, I've got really nothing to do to it, so I went back to Mega Scizor as he roosted, and he went for a U-turn, and I think my Mega Scizor has to get a roost off of its own because, you know, he's not looking too pretty, and if he's going to take hits from Mega Heracross, he's got to be a little bit better off. Now, last time we were in this situation, he went for a burn, and this time, like, my Umbreon is burned, so it's immune to burn from getting burned again, I guess. So I'm not expecting Will-O-Wisp to come in, I'm expecting some other move. I went for Knockoff to see what his item was, Culber Berry, and it actually did a surprising amount considering that it was like halved and it, like, you know, didn't really knock off an item, so kind of impressed with the damage. I went back into Umbreon expecting Willows this turn, but he went for Infestation, which I've never seen on this thing before, and I don't know, I guess it was just to keep my Scizor trapped so that he could definitely get a burn on it if he really needed it, but I don't know, it worked, it trapped my Umbreon, and because Umbreon's trapped and because it's burned, it's not going to do anything with anything. I think it's got Foul Play. I guess Foul Play could do okay. I actually forgot what my attacking move on this guy is. But I set up a Wish, and as in comes Mega Heracross, I start thinking, you know, if he doesn't go for a Rock move, if he goes for a super effective move against Umbreon, which you probably would have to kill it, you know, his options are Fighting and Bug, and Flying happens to risk both Fighting and Bug, so Tornadus is a pretty safe switch with a Wish in the air and with leftovers, and I could go for Hurricane here. I don't have Air Slash on that guy. I really wish I did because I would have gone for it, but he winds up switching out anyway. I didn't feel safe going for a 70% accurate move, so I just went to Crocodile because it has Aerial Ace if you wanted to stay in and go for a Rock move. And he wound up going to Regirock, which I'm not really going to accomplish much with a physical attacker against that thing, so I went into Claydol, but he switched out into Flygon on the same turn, so like trying to dodge an Earthquake, so he's going to get a free U-turn out, right back into Regirock as I just set up Stealth Rocks. I'm not really sure what Regirock wants to do. It can't Thunder Wave me, it could Toxic me, and if he wants to be a dual status Regirock, then that's totally cool. I'm going to try and dodge a Toxic by going to Scizor. It works. And now I could set up a Sword Stance, but again, I need HP back on this guy, otherwise Mega Heracross just wins the game. I really should have prepared for it better, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought Aerial Ace and a Flying Dude would be good enough. Like, if it doesn't get any speed, it's not really going to do a whole bunch because Tornadus can come in, but of course he's got friggin' Scolipede, so he's going to be able to get speed at some point. Anyway, Flygon comes in after I get paralyzed. He defogs, he Earthquakes. I get up a Roost. I got paralyzed a few times. I'm not really trying to go for damage against this thing because you know, it's got Roost, it's got options, so bullet punching isn't really a main priority. Getting HP is a main priority. He turns out, goes into Scolipede, kind of what I expected. So now I don't want to sit there and get paralyzed and let him get a free boost. So I'm going to go to Tornadus, and Tornadus has taunt, so I can stop him in his track. Taunt with Prankster, so I can stop him in his tracks right here, but he's going to go for Protect, and I don't want to taunt on a Protect. I want to get a Rain Dance up because I'm running Hurricane, not Air Slash, and he doesn't Protect. He just goes right for Baton Pass. I really fudged it up there. That was the game, because he gets +1/+2 into Mega Heracross, and that thing sweeps my entire team. I was hoping he wouldn't go for Baton Pass without at least 2 boosts, because at that point my Crocodile could have been Scarfed. It's not, and it could have had Air Release, but it did. But because it's slower, because it's not Scarfed, there's nothing I could do. So, man, you know, if I should have just gone for Taunt, even if I was expecting Protect, because, like, that shuts Scolipede right down. Like, maybe he could fire off a Mega Horn, but then that gives me another chance at Hurricaning the thing and just getting it out of there, and this winds up being a much better game. Instead, it's just a clean 6-0 sweep for Mega Heracross. Even if my Crocodile was, like, if I brought a Scarf Crocodile instead of the Muscle Band one, I feel like with the -1 defense, even if it got this +1/+2, I feel like I could have had a chance at taking it out. Maybe I could have, like, baited him into a few close combats with Scizor and just got his defenses low enough where an Aerial Ace would take it out. That did actually cross my mind. I thought about doing that, but I thought, like, it would just be pointless in the end. Like, try and close combat stall it and get a Bullet Punch on it, but I probably could have gotten haxed anyway. But anyway, that was the game, and that was probably, hopefully, the worst loss I received this season. But you know, help is on the way. I made a few trades, I think, almost immediately after this game, and I brought in a few heavy hitters. I brought in Politoed and Kabutops, and obviously my team is very rain-oriented, so both of those things are going to be very helpful. I tried manual rain a few times with Tornadus, didn't really work out, clearly, and I think having auto rain is going to be a big help, and obviously Kabutops with Swift Swim, massive attack, and access to Swords Dance. It's going to be a major addition. Unfortunately, I had to ship out Lucario and Umbreon. Sadly, Umbreon is not going to see any more action for me this season, but you know, I had to, if I want to make the playoffs, I got to make a play, so that was my move. Unfortunately, the trades don't come into effect until the week after next week, so I'm up against Fizzy Stardust and the Atlanta Halucha next week. Stick around because I need a win to bring myself back up to 500, and I want to try and claw my way back into the playoff picture.